Down in the Den, so go tell a friend. The best podcast on earth's about to begin. We got jokes and news and movie reviews. After Dark NC-17 with the crew. Interviews with the best artists around. So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Welcome to Down in the Den. It's your boy Marz, and we are back for another stellar episode. Nothing but illustrious guests, nothing but the most interesting guests, nothing but the most talented guests, and nothing has changed. We're always bringing you that. And today, I am humbled and happy to have with me none other than Hookdiggy, hip-hop artist. Hookdiggy, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great now that I'm on with you, Marz. Let's get it, man.
Let's get it, man. Well, another day in paradise here. And let's just get into it, man. I am very, very excited. We've had artists on from all genres, comic books, directors, musicians, singers. But you are one of the first hip-hop artists that we've had. So I'm very honored because we have a true hip-hop artist, not rap, but hip-hop, man. So I'm very happy. Now, I understand you're from Flint, Michigan. Is that
yes, sir?
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all
sir.
right,
Flint. Yep.
Yes, sir. So I always ask because I'm from VA, and I've always been a firm believer where you're from, where you grew up, kind of molds you into what you're going to be in the future. How would you say? And it's really refreshing. A lot of Michigan artists, of course, we know the Detroit artists. You have your Royce, you have your Eminem, you have your T Grizzly, you have all those Detroit artist. But growing up in Michigan, how would you say that shaped you musically?
Man, that's funny you said that because I got started rapping from a group that was from Michigan. Big influence of mine to get started rapping is a group called D.E.N family. They also from Flint too. And it was seeing them release like their self-produced EP. It was the dopest thing ever because people would just call and say, hey man, something going on at this club called Mr. Lucky's. And everybody in Flint like got to Mr. Lucky's in this parking lot. And the D.E.N family was sitting there, man. They had this very chrome painted Caravan. Everybody knew the Caravan back in the city. And they was bumping something that we had never heard before. And it was just like so dope. And they was like, hey, this us. And they started passing out these tapes, man. And just like the whole city went crazy to see somebody like just from the same block, just us coming up, putting something together, put something out. At this time, Bree had already done his thing. MC Bree to kind of set, the platform we had ready for the world. We had other artists that came before that, but TDF, D.E.N family, to just kind of come from the block and put it out themselves. I think they used disc makers at the time. Man, just turned a whole new wave of artists and musicians, and I give them credit for getting me started because I got home and I listened to it and I was just like, hey, I think I want to rap. These homies, put together. And, at first, it was whack at first. It was terrible, but it was an inspiration, man. So, just that hometown love, just being from Flint, just coming together, Midwest, Dirty Glove, we didn't really have a lot of people that represented from Michigan. So, of course, when the Detroit artists started to blow up, we love that. We love supporting that. So, for me, kind of getting that experience from the D.E.N family, being able to kind of keep it going with Breed. I always represent Flint to the fullest. Everywhere I'm somewhere, I'm like, yeah, I'm from Flint. Represent Michigan. I represent my what up though Detroit people too. But yeah, that's what kind of helped shape me and the Flint sound and the Flint representation, man.
Absolutely. Now, I am a 80s baby. We always talk about that up here. And growing up in not really growing up in the 80s, but born in the 80s, growing up in the 90s, I personally feel that was the golden era in hip hop. Yeah. When you had Nas dropping, Wu-Tang dropping, Jay dropping, Pac dropping, Snoop dropping, Dre dropping. Yep. It's a golden era to me. And listening to your music, I get that vibe. I get that golden era that is boom bap, but it's also got a vibe. You can ride to it. What besides the Michigan artists and the Flint artists, what other artists inspired you for hip hop?
It's funny. I call myself a color wheel artist. So, you got the color wheel, the RGB, the red, green, blue. Right. So I call myself a RGB artist because I'm a little bit of R&B, a little bit of G-Funk, and a little bit of boom bap. So I have a heavy West Coast love. I love the West Coast. Now you talk about Dre and everything like that. Oh yeah, big time love West Coast music. And the boom bap, of course, I went to school out in Philly, Drexel University. I went to school Philly. So, a blend of the East, a little bit of Midwest, and then you add the West. That that golden era you talking about, everything that was about that golden era kind of shaped how I wanted to be known as an artist. And I know a lot of artists they kind of, and I don't want to say get stuck, they kind of get their brand. This is where I want to be. And I call myself a throwback modern hip hop artist because the throwback piece is like it's a throwback. It sounds like a throwback, but how do you bring kind of modern elements into it by staying true to what you would call like the golden era hip hop? So yeah, all of that's true. Man.
And I can feel that. I can feel that in the vibe of your music because I hear from what I hear, I actually hear lyrics.
Yeah.
And that's something that in the 90s, I used to rap a little bit back in the day. I did my theme music, but at a certain point when rap, probably around the Soldier Boy era,
Yeah.
is when I kind of was like, whoa, this isn't for me. This
Yeah.
really isn't for me. This I felt like I aged out, and it was more for teeny boppers. And then of course there's artists. There's always good traditional artists out there. But when I heard you, I was like, okay, this is what I need. This is what I grew up on, this style, and it is very modern. But the throwback, like you said, is actually saying something. It's not just, hey, bitch, you want some drugs? Or hey,
Yeah.
bitch,
Yeah.
I'm doing some drugs. Or hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you, bitch, while doing drugs. It's real music. You can get in the car, you can ride to it, you can vibe to it, smoke to it, do whatever you want. I always ask creators, what is your creative process when you're going into making a song? If you're going into the studio, are you coming in there just a blank canvas? Do you come in there with something pre-prepared and then you write to the beat? What's your creative process like?
Bro, I appreciate it. I'm humble. Thank you so much for the compliments on the music, man. I appreciate that. For me, I was, most artists that's been doing it for any amount of time, we do it every kind of way. So I'll give you my preferred process. My preferred process is really to kind of feel the track, feel the groove. Like I may be humming something and I got tons of video recordings of grooves. You hum. Get a beat, ride to that track, see what the feel of the track is. Is this a inspirational kind of vibe? Is this a party vibe? Where we going? Okay. What the hook? What does the cadence sound like? I'm just gonna be like, you start freestyling to it. No, I don't like that. All right, do it this way. Okay, there's the flow. There's the flow. That's the cadence we want to be. Okay, what we gonna write about? Then kind of come up with a concept and a hook. Then go into the studio and start putting it together layer by layer. I'm one of those people too because I used to run a studio that I never like to rush the process. And one of the things I used to see artists a lot of times come and do, and I understand, you independent, you got to pay for studio time. You're trying to get it all done in those 4 hours, those 5 hours, those 6 hours. So I used to tell artists a lot of time, come prepared because the process in and of itself, it's okay to come back and redo these vocals. It's okay to come back and rewrite some if you don't like it. We live in the instant generation now. They want to do the song, put it out, done. And it's kind of like, man, music is supposed to be forever. If it's supposed to be timeless, take your time, do it right. SOS man told us that. Just get on in there, make it right, and then do it up. So for me, like I will come back to songs. Several times we lay that first draft down. Very rarely is that first session the final copy. That's just kind of like, okay, let's listen to everything that we did right in the song and everything that needs to be fixed. And then go back and fix it, man. Go back and fix it, man. So I like to have the groove first. I like to have the groove before I go put anything down. Now, if I'm going to a session and listening to beats from producers, I'm gonna say, okay, let me hear some beats first. Let's hear something. Let's get the vibe. Let's get going. Then I can put the lyrics on top of the vibe. Every once in a while, I will get some dope bars that I will also do on my voice recorder. But usually it's the groove. I want to get the groove first.
Now, do you ever feel the temptation? Because I feel now, I was listening to T-Pain. He was
Yeah.
on Twitch the other day, and he was talking about how artists send him music all the time.
Yeah.
And he says he gets 1,000 little babies, 1,000 to baby. Everybody's here what's number one right now. And instead of being original, they try to make a version of that. I can hear in your music you have artistic integrity. You're like, I'm not going to try to be like everybody else. I'm going to be me because you're never going to be better than the original.
That's right.
At what they're doing. But
That's
you can be the best at what you're doing. Do you ever have that temptation to be like, all right, this is real popping right now. Let me go ahead and do this and just lay it. I don't really want to, but I'm late. Or are you just like, nope, this is me, and I'm gonna stick to it? Because I feel we're all human. We probably all have that temptation.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes to like, let me lay something that's on the radio right now. How do you address that?
Man, the I would say for me it is an artistic integrity thing, and it's no shade against anybody that's out there, following the formula is what they say. One of the things I liked about traditional hip hop in its essence that it really celebrated individuality. It celebrated if you were different. If you were copying somebody, you were whack. That's just what it was. And I come from that school. And so it took me a while to find who I was as an artist and what I was going to be about. And to change that would be kind of disappointing to myself, man. I'll be letting myself down just to chase the wave. But you get it and you understand that um, for record labels and for, the mass public, you want to chase what's hot. But, what are you selling out to? You're not selling out to just people. You're selling out to yourself. And so for me, it's kind of like this is what Hookdiggy is on. I'm about good music, good vibes, positive entertainment. If that's only gonna get this much of the market, that's all right. I'm gonna rock this much of the market right here, and I'm gonna be so genuine and authentic with it. You're gonna be like, man, that was all right there. Instead of having to be like, oh, let me put my fronts up. I put my fronts up because this is what we own. This is what we own. This ain't what I really want to be on, but this is what we own because I have to do that because I've created this aura about me. So yeah, I don't want to be about that. But when you understand the game, and because I ran the studio for so many years, I knew what artists were going through and that struggle of, yo, Hook, man, this was popping on the radio, so I gotta do it. I'll be like, yeah, but put a little bit of you in there, man. Put your own little, spin on it or something like that. And I produce a lot of clone artists. I produce a lot of artists who put their own spin on it. And so the right answer is just pretty much, what do you want to be known for? Your legacy when you leave. I want to be known for artistic integrity.
Facts, big facts, man. I love that answer. Now, your music has real, integrity, but it also has real motion, and it really subverts what's come to be expected of what's really recently been released. And like I said, I love it all. If they like it, I love it. But you don't see too many art. Even the artists that they claim are lyrical nowadays are like, did you hear what Nas was doing in '94? This is it always surprised me. I have younger cousins that kind of keep me in a loop of what's going on. How important is lyric to you? Because so many people will just get a hot beat and that's all I need. And like you said, I'm not going back to this verse. I'm not going to touch it up. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to hum on this beat and get it out. How important is lyrical content to you?
Yeah, the lyrical content is definitely going to be important for me. Because I'm an intellectual, man. I'm not gonna be, ashamed of. Yes, I was nerd in school. That's my whole little vibe. I got a college degree. I want to be somewhat educated. I want to come across as saying something that people actually get. Hip hop used to be the voice of the people. So if you're not really saying anything that the people can gather and get on and get behind and get motivated behind, to me, you ain't really saying that. But that's my opinion of what I want to do and how I want to be known on the mic. So lyrics very important. I used to be really hard on myself as far as like every bar got to be super dope because it's got to be this and that. And that. You learn to relax a little bit. You compromise. Like is bar 4 gonna be that really? Do you really concentrate on bar 4, 8, 12, and 16? And the other ones are kind of okay. But I think I have a bar that's set. I don't get below the bar. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, all right, now I'm getting a little too rudimentary here, a little too elementary. Let's intellectualize it up. Use your words, sit up straight.
I think I remember hearing Uncle L say it can't always be chess. Sometimes it has to be checkers. So
That's right.
sometimes you do have to dumb it down.
Yeah,
but sometimes
exactly.
you get that mix, and as long as we know you can do it, it's okay. If it's a bar that's not. I remember Ludacris, which I respect. There was a point in hip hop where everyone was doing the Big Sean thing, another Michigan artist, where he would say a line and then the punchline would come after.
Yeah.
And I remember Ludacris did something. He was like, "We're gonna blow balloons," and I was like, "Oh God." You're too talented for this, for jumping on the wave. So
that's what's up. If you would come Big Sean and starting that, what up though? That's the homie right there, man.
Yeah, Big Sean. They call it the super duper flow, and I'm a bit of a hip hop historian. Big Sean gets credit for that. Now, speaking of Big Sean, are there any artists, not only just in Michigan era, any artists that you really just like, yo, I would love to collaborate with this person?
Oh, I love this question right here. I got 3 artists I've always wanted to collab. One has passed away, unfortunately. The first one I would say is Prince. We'll talk about Prince. I've always wanted to collab with Prince. I thought Prince was a wonderful musician, a great musician. Definitely didn't get his due. He did, but he didn't really get this due. You know what I'm saying? And I would have loved to been able to be accepted to work with Prince, because I'm sure he got plenty of collabs of people that wanted to reach out to him. He was probably
Very
like, nah.
exclusive. I
Yeah, it's
understand.
probably like, nah.
Yeah, he didn't work with just everybody. He
That's
wasn't
right.
clearing any samples. He
That's right.
wasn't.
That's right.
And
That's
what can
right.
you
So
say? You know, it's Prince.
that's right.
If Prince say you whack, you whack.
You
You
right.
just
You're
gotta
right.
take that L.
You're right. But I would love to be able to work with to been able to work with him because I'm musically trained too. So to be able to put together some real music kind of flow kind of thing, and it may have been slash hip hop slash rock kind of pish posh or Mitch matched together, but I would have loved to work with Prince. Corrupt is my other favorite MC. I definitely want to work with Corrupt one day. I love Corrupt's flow. He has defined his type of flow, and I've always loved the way he reps on the mic. And Jill Scott is my last one. Jill Scott, I would love to work with Jill Scott, one of my favorite, if not my favorite R&B artists of all time.
That's 3 for 3 right there. Shout out to Jill Scott. She's gotten me so many ladies in my time. And shout out to the late great Prince, and shout out to Corrupt. And a lot of people don't know he's from Philly. That's right. Philly spit, even though he's got that West Coast vibe. Right. So absolutely. Right. Now, you mentioned that you're very musical. Is that you on all your production, or do you have a team? Who's doing the production with you?
It's gonna be a mix. It's gonna be a mix. I used to try to hog all the beats, but you learn to collaborate, man. There's so much to work with out here. So you just had to maybe read the liner notes. I know I produced good music. I produced Wind Out. I co-produced Out There. Kill It, the single that I got out right now, is produced by my homie Waxo. That's who I first started rapping with. Like my first beat maker ever was him. And so for him to bless me with something that I'm doing now is super dope. I produced Make It Work. A lot of my new singles that I got coming out later this year, I've done more collaboration with producers, but for me, a lot of times I may get it to a certain point and I'll be like, let me reach out to my man that's real dope on some drum program. Let me see what he would do with these drums, because I'm kind of like at a B- right now. I want an A+. Let me send it off. I've learned to share the wealth because it's enough for everybody to get some publishing. So, hey man, whatever it takes to make it sound right. If I can only get it a certain amount, okay, I'm gonna let somebody else take it. And I work with a couple of producers that have kind of given me a good sound. If they, my sound, if you know what I'm on, send me something and I love it. And I give producers all the time, but let me see some beats. Let me see you some beats. And I don't like none of them. And it's like, you didn't listen to
my, you know who I am. Yeah. You should know who I am.
Before you just send me all of your beats. Like, you wasted your time. Send this to somebody else. So I love being in the mix producing, but I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing and work with other producers.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned that you co-produce Out There, which is, even though it came out in the spring, that's going to be the summer ride. That's going to be the summer. It's people are getting out there. After a pandemic, people are ready to get on the road. I know the pandemic has kind of shut down a lot of touring. Is there are you going to get out there on the road anytime this year? Is there any place that we can expect to see you, or hope to see you, or stay tuned?
Yeah, well, so I'm dropping an EP in August, and people are still starting to travel. So this one we're gonna do virtual. We're gonna do it online. For my EP, I got dropping called Mic Check Music. And Mic Check Music is a celebration of kind of like live music. You know how, and the thing is, every time you get on the mic, somebody always tell the mic be like mic check, that mic check. So It's giving you that live feel, and it's all live instrumentation on the EP. It's gonna be kind of a mix of giving you that live sound, because you've been missing being out at live concerts, live shows, and everything like that. And then I'm gonna perform all the songs. We're doing like a EP release party for it, man, on Zoom. It should be dope. It should be dope. And then after that, we're gonna start probably setting up tours and getting out there in front of these people, man, giving them what they want.
I think that's genius, and I love the blend. I notice on a lot of your music, there's a nice blend of instrumentation in that music, and really, it's like you, the Roots, and D Smoke are really the only ones out there right now putting that type of live instrumentation, and I love it, man. I love a blend, putting real musicality. So you have the EP coming out, you have the singles out. Tell us about the new single that you were mentioning that you dropped.
Yeah, so the new single I just dropped called Out There. We are actually shooting. If it's anybody in Georgia that hear this, y'all want to come be in the video. We're shooting a music video for August 5th here in Atlanta. So hit me up at Hookdiggy everywhere. But the new single we just dropped is called Out There. It's a celebration of those who have left us, man, those who have went on, and to not be concentrating on the past and but celebrating the life and celebrating the legacy that they left us with. And so the whole concept of the song is like, do you hear me out there? You know, when I'm talking to you, do you still hear me out there? And I came up with the concept of the song after my grandmother passed. And I wanted to do something. Thank you, man. And she never got a chance to see Hookdiggy. You know, she only knew who Will Berryman was, you know, the scholar, the student, and everything like that. She never got a chance to see this passion of music that I had. And I thought, what better way to honor her than to, you know, write a song, you know, about how I feel that she's gone. But do you still hear me out there, and do you still see what I'm doing? So yeah, that's what that was about. And so we want to celebrate those who have set us up for life, man. A celebration of life.
Respect to the ancestors, and brother, I can assure you, she's watching you, she hears you, and I'm certain she is proud. But we're almost done. We have two fun things to do because we always have a little fun down in the den, and then you're about to get this official den mate stamp. So number one, I want to know, because you're giving me hip hop historian vibes, and I love it. I love it. Who's your Mount Rushmore? Who's your 4? I know it's a hard question because most people do top 5, man, but we're doing the Mount Rushmore.
Man, they're gonna beat me up, man. Everybody that don't make the top 4 are gonna beat me up. Okay,
they can get an honorable mention.
That's our honorable mention. We gotta throw Corrupt up there, man. Corrupt. We gotta put Corrupt up there. You know, I'm gonna throw a loop for you here. I'm gonna put Esham up there. Esham is a Detroit artist, a Detroit underground acid rap artist. He probably doesn't like to be, you know, associated with acid rap now because he's kind of branched off in other things. But Esham definitely, he created a lane for himself, and his flow has just always been kind of like Corrupt created his lane. I love how Esham created his lane, you know, as well. So shout out to Esham. What up, though? Detroit in the house. Let me give you two more I have to think about. I'm gonna go with Q-Tip, man. Everybody know I'm boom bap all day. People hate on you know, Tip. They think he may have sold out with Vibrant thing and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's
no Q-Tip slander will be tolerated. No tribe slander will be. In fact, the whole Jungle Brothers, that the whole leaders of the new school, no slander will be tolerated. That, not in the den at all.
None of that, man. None of that at all. And this should be is I had to think like, who do you listen to the most? You know, who are your artists that you listen to the most? Number four, who would make sense for me to put? I'm gonna go with Cube, man. Ice Cube, man. If you just think about what he was writing at a young age, because I know we all think about, you know, Death Certificate, West Coast Connection, all of that kind of stuff. But
America's Most Wanted.
I think about what he was writing for NWA and the Posse and for Straight Outta Compton. Like you have had, you know, intellectual bars for a while. For a while. So yeah, definitely got to throw Q up there, man.
Hey man, I can't knock that Mount Rushmore at all. That's a hell of a list. I grew up on Cube. I shouldn't have been listening to it because I was far too young. I was interviewing another artist, and I was talking about, you know, my brother was 10 years older than me. So when I was 6, he was 16. So instead of listening to Wheels on the Bus, I was listening to She Swallowed It. And I probably shouldn't have been, but that's what it was. So I always said, you know, I was exposed early, but I was exposed to the good stuff. So it's always, you know, I love it. So now's the fun part. We do this every episode whenever we have a musician. We play a game of song association.
Yes.
So generally with song association, for those who haven't seen the show before, I give a word, a random word, and then our guest on this episode, Hookdiggy, will have 10 seconds to think of a song with the word in the title or in the lyric. Since he's a hip hop artist, he can do a traditional song that's already out there, or I will give credit for a point if you can give us a bar with the word in it. It could be off the top,
Whoa.
whatever. So you got options. You
I
got
got
double
options.
chances to succeed. Now, here's the key. There's only 3.
Okay.
So it's really a pass or fail. You
Yeah.
get one wrong, that's a 66%.
That's a fail right there.
So
Yeah.
that's a fail or a D minus. So
True, right.
we most of the artists have passed. We've had a few that just, but you'll see it's pretty hard. So I have my random word generator to show that it's fair.
So it's fair.
That is fair. All right, here we go. So the first word is seek. SEEK. You can do any song with seek in the word, or if you can give us a bar, spit a little something with seek in it, you can do it. And the timer starts now.
I can't think of any words with seek. You know, I'm a preacher's kid, so you say seek, and I think Mama preaching, seeking ye shall find. So that's what I think about. So let's come up with a bar.
Okay.
Philly boy like Meek, education gonna seek, bars in the track, give you sneak peek. I'ma keep going, sitting on the table like teak. Been rhyming for about a week. Fly away a bird from the beak. And I'm gonna stop right there and keep going down the
Hey,
alphabet
it
because I was
works.
gonna keep going. You know what I'm
Ding, ding. That's a point. All right. All right. That's what. We got bars. All right. Generate word 2. Yeah. All right. This word is grudge. GRUDGE. Grudge.
Ah, man, these words, man. I'm thinking of the movie now, man. That would make me think of a movie. Let me see. Let me see. I guess we're gonna have to do another bar. But hold on, let me think. Grudge. Let me see if I have a hold. Nah, nah. All right, so let's freestyle it up. Mama pushed me hard, trying to nudge. Punishments never held a grudge. Michigan boy eating fudge. Hip hop is all about the love.
Love it. Love it. All right. This is final. That's a 66%. Depending on the state, that's a D.
Yeah.
Let's get you into this A.
Let me get the A right here, man.
Let's get this A. Damn, I don't know if this thing is set on hard, but
See, now I've listened to your other ones and they had some easier words, man. I was just playing. Come on with it, man. I
the
like
word is portrait. PORTRAIT. I actually know a song with portrait, but portrait is
yeah,
the
that's
word.
funny. You're gonna say that. I think musically, portrait, the artist. I mean, the group portrait. I think a lot about portrait. Ah, man, I don't know about a bar that rhymes with portrait. What would I rhyme with portrait? If I had to rhyme with portrait,
Fortress? I don't know.
fortress, fortunate, hortense, something like that. All right, so let's see. Can I sing a portrait song?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could do either one.
Yeah, I need to sample that. Here we go again, going through the same thing.
That was
Here
the
we go
shit.
again. Here we go, going through the same thing. Hey man, I need to sample that. That was
Was
a new jack kind of joint right there, man.
yo, New Jack Swing is coming back. I don't know if you saw the verses with Bobby Brown, but let me tell you, man, that talk about timeless music. And Teddy Riley,
Yes,
he's a
yes.
Virginia boy like
Virginia
myself.
boy, that's right. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. And man, he made some timeless music. But Hookdiggy, I've had a blast, brother. I have
Bro,
had a blast.
bro. I
I
appreciate
love the
you.
music. I love the vibe. I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you, man.
Tell the
Thank you.
people, tell the den. You get your stamp, official den mate. That means you get
Hey,
lifetime support from the team. You're on the
yes.
team.
Hey, thank
Tell
you
the
so much.
people where they can find you, where they can get your music, where they can your social media. The floor is yours.
Yes, you want to definitely check out anything Hookdiggy. You can go to my website, Hookdiggy. That's HOOKDIGGY.com. You can type Hookdiggy in all your streaming platforms, Tidal, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, all of them. You can also catch me on all social media at Hookdiggy, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And definitely come check out my EP release party, man. Tickets are free. We're going to be premiering 6 new songs and we will be giving away stuff. I always give away. While I'm on live concerts, I always give away stuff. So check me out on hookdiggy.com or get those tickets at tickets.hookdiggy.com. And definitely check that out. I'm looking for y'all soon.
Yes, sir. And please check him out. Here's the website, guys. Right here. Very, very dope website. He's killing it. So here it is, guys. We'll put the links and everything so you guys can check it out. But that's the website. My man is very talented. My man is giving us quality music that we need, man, because my ears have been dry as of late. So I appreciate you. We support you. I thank you so much for joining us in the den. And as always, thank you guys for listening. Deuces.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now.